Hey enthusiasts, what's happening? This is Salty Language episode 675.
God, I almost just started coughing. The sexiest network on, the
No,
sexiest podcast on the network.
nice. That's all right. I'll fix it in post like always. Don't
Yeah,
worry
we
about it.
do so much editing on the show.
Yes, so
Yes,
much.
yes. Hi, Brian. How's it going?
Hello there.
It's been a
So,
little late start to us tonight, but circumstances,
yeah, things got in the way.
things got in the way.
Yeah, my mom needed something from the store, and we were supposed to go today, and I didn't feel too good earlier, so I was like, let's go tomorrow. And then she's like, well, I kind of need whatever, and I was like, oh, you know what? I think I have a medicine ready, so I should go get it, and get over there. And of course, I don't have a medicine ready.
Why would it be?
So I got a couple things and ran out of there as quick as possible.
That's my.
Then we stopped and got gas at the Kroger gas station.
I'm so
And
sorry.
there was a guy that what was
I
that?
said I'm so sorry.
Oh, there was a guy that got out of his car and it looks like he was running like a taxi, and he was not speaking English. And I don't know if it was the language he was speaking or not, but it really sounded like he was yelling at somebody. like like the whole conversation sounded like yelling. And I'm like, what'll be funny is how like some languages just sound angry, but they're not. Like German, if you really get going, can sound kind of
Oh yeah.
like really destroying
Wait a
someone.
minute,
And
Brian.
you're not.
German, the language of love.
Yes, I believe that's what it's known
Pretty
for.
sure.
But yeah, it was funny because other people standing there, they're all looking like, "Yo, is everything okay?" kind of a, like, And then when he got in the car, you could still hear him. So I don't know if he was just talking loudly and just was into the conversation, or if it was an escalated situation. But I hope everything's all right for him.
Yeah, that would be good, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Goddamn, I say.
I know. I was like, geez, dude. I was like, all right. Also, he had the microphone, like he had like a headset on, and the mic was right by his mouth. I'm like, I feel bad for
I
whoever.
thought he was just yelling at somebody in the parking lot.
No.
Oh,
No,
I was
no.
like, damn.
No, sorry, it's on the phone. But it's like, man, I feel sorry for whoever's on the other end of that, because that's got to be loud as
I
hell.
feel bad for the microphone getting covered in spittle and kraut or whatever language it was. Whatever the food of the language.
Yeah, I don't know what it was. I'm not even gonna wager a guess on it, but I was still like, all right then,
Fair enough. Brian, sometimes people got to yell.
Yeah, I guess.
Yes.
I laughed at the people who were in line before me, because they get up to one of the U scans, and when they get done, their stuff's like $60. And the woman looks at the guy and she's like, I told you should just let me come in and get mayo.
I mean, that sounds like a Costco thing. I'm just going to go and get this one thing. $300 later.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I got three things.
It was like mine, I went in there with the intent of getting like two things.
Yeah.
And then when I came out, it was like, $60 later, but it was like, well, stuff that I needed from there, and I'm going to Aldi tomorrow. And like I told you before, it's like, I'm getting stuff I can't get there. So I figured I'd grab what I could get there.
Why doesn't Aldi have a brand of mixed nuts just called Aldi's Nuts?
They should.
I mean, honestly.
Yeah, they really should.
Yeah.
It's not even lube.
No,
it's just
Aldi's Nuts.
Nuts. Yeah.
And then everyone else can be like, ha ha.
Yeah, because see, Kroger can't do it. Kroger nut, it sounds generic.
Yeah, it sounds
doesn't
horrible.
work. Yeah.
Meyer nut, terrible.
Yeah, anything mixed like that, they should have an Aldi's this.
Oh, absolutely.
Like Aldi's cheeses.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of mixed up cheeses.
Aldi's nuggies.
Aldi's nuggies. Aldi's snacks.
Yeah, all of it.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're right. They should get rid of all the other brands like Clancy and Corporal Skippy or whatever they call it, or I haven't memorized the brands. Obviously, they have. So
they could come out with a sexy calendar, kind of like Hooters, and call it Aldi's Bitches.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Aldi's Months.
Oh.
Okay.
Aldi's Yammers.
Aldi's Wangs.
Yeah,
I mean,
there could be two different calendars.
Got to cater for people. Have a mixture for the people that are into both.
Exactly. Yeah. True. Fair enough.
Have a calendar with neither for those who are not into any of it.
Right. Seems boring, but cool.
Anyway.
I mean, hell, honestly, if they put out a cat calendar just called Aldi's Cats, and it was just a shitload of cats in every picture, it's like $1 million idea.
No, it is.
Come on,
right.
Aldi, we're waiting for you to hire us as your marketing.
Oh, and how adorable the cats are crawling out of like Aldi bags.
Oh my god, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Or there's just product placements everywhere.
Oh, for sure.
You know.
Like we got one of them coming out of a thing of red bag chicken. Like, oh, was he eating the chicken or is he the chicken?
Like, I hope he wasn't eating the chicken. It needs to be cooked first.
That's true.
Yes, that's the cat's dressed up like a chicken.
Hell yeah.
A piece of chicken in there. Yeah.
It's
a great idea.
Got one that looks like he's fucking hammered, just surrounded by empty wine bottles.
Yeah. Yeah. All these wine moms.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
All these cirrhosis.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, probably.
I don't think cats are supposed to drink wine.
I mean, you don't know till you try.
I guess.
Yeah. They say it's good for the heart.
You're right. When I'm done, I'm going to go give Kelly some wine.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Lots of wine.
Yeah. Well, of course.
Like those gallon bottles that have wicker on them for some reason.
Yes.
Yeah, one of those.
Like at my cheap Italian restaurant.
Yes, exactly.
Mm-hmm. Like somehow these look authentic. I don't.
Oh, I want something that's going to quench my thirst and match my patio furniture. Oh, perfect. This is awesome.
That would be fantastic.
Would be fantastic.
Because, definitely the thing you want on that hot day is a nice, refreshing, warm glass of wine.
Yeah, for sure. Nice hot wine. Nothing feels better in the palm of your hand than that wicker.
Yeah. Oh God, I wasn't even thinking of like the glasses having wicker on them.
Oh God, I didn't think about that either. But yes,
that'd be fantastic. Actually, the whole set. Like, what is going on here? I don't know about this. I mean,
not gonna lie. Having a winery just called Wicker Man and all the bottles are those wicker bottles, and it's like kind of like pagan themed. That would be kind of cool.
Oh yeah, I could see people wanting to come in for that.
Yeah, Wicker Man wine. Come on. Mm-hmm. Why do we give these ideas away?
I don't know, but the people at Aldi are just tripping all over themselves when they hear
tripping on all these balls.
Yeah, all these ideas.
All these ideas.
Yeah.
Aldias? No, it's close.
No,
it's a little bit there.
It's too close to the Aldinas.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. I just think we stick with the Aldi's.
The Aldi's brand.
Yeah.
Seriously, it writes itself.
It does.
Goddamn numbnuts.
Aldi's potatoes for $4.99. See, it's just everything about it. It's just perfect.
It is perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's a good ass beer.
And if you have to, you just change things to where, because saying Aldi's rice doesn't sound right. But you can say all these rices.
All these rices. All these grains.
Yep, there you go. Yep. Perfect. All these tortillas.
All these beatus.
Yep.
Side note, actually, I got a couple side notes here for weird food. All right. So yesterday we made egg roll bowl.
Okay.
Delicious. Just coleslaw, pork, seasonings. Good shit, right? Okay.
What makes it the egg roll?
It's like supposed to mimic the inside of an egg roll.
So you're not using egg roll pieces or anything?
It's just called egg roll in a bowl. I've seen it referred to as crack slaw before.
Oh, I thought maybe you crisp up some egg roll wrappers and then you would do tortilla strips.
That would be tasty, but bear with me here.
All right.
So making egg roll in a bowl, and I'm like, I should get actual egg rolls. Yeah. Dude at work who I respect his opinions on food told me last week, he's like, I'm telling you, Dollar Tree egg rolls are the best in the city. I'm like, what?
Which either says something amazing about Dollar Tree or something horrible about our city.
Yes.
Or both.
He's like, I'm telling you, man, they're better than any restaurant. I'm like, I don't know, man.
Like how?
Right. So I'm thinking about that conversation, and I'm like, you know what? Fuck it. And I told him this, too. I'm like, I'm going to pick up some of these damn egg rolls. I'm like, freezer section. He's like, yeah, freezer section. So I go to Dollar Tree yesterday. Get, the egg rolls are individually wrapped. They have chicken, pork, vegetarian, shrimp, and, from parts unknown, lobster.
LOBBSTER.
Yeah, yes, right.
Or lobster.
Lobster.
In quotes.
So they have these 5 flavors. I just got chicken.
Okay. Oh, you didn't get them all so you could do your TikTok video?
I mean, maybe sometime. That would actually probably be fun.
Yeah.
No air fryer instructions, which I'm like, motherfucker. So then you got to wing it and figure it out.
Yeah.
Right? My mistake, I didn't Pam the pan.
Oh,
so they stuck. That was on me, though. I fucked up.
Yeah.
And they're big. They're like big-ass egg rolls.
Like burrito size?
Smaller than burrito, but bigger than like a box of frozen egg rolls that you would get.
Okay.
You know? Because that was my thing. I'm like, all right, so I'm getting 4 egg rolls and it's $5. How does that compare to a box of egg rolls? It's got to be pretty close. Right. But they are big. Not going to lie, man. They're pretty good. All I got was chicken, and they were pretty good.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. It was kind of bizarre. And also I picked up, because I walked by, I'm wandering around looking for egg rolls, and I was trying to find garbage bags used for cat litter.
Yeah.
And I have no idea where I'm going in a Dollar Tree,
Right.
But I passed.
Every aisle is just it's just another set of wonders.
Every aisle is exciting.
Yeah.
But I wandered up like the snacky aisle. Yeah. And they had the tag-alongs, but Dollar Tree version. Oh, and I'm like, well, all these cookies, all the tag-alongs, they slap. They're fucking delicious.
Yep.
So I'm like, you know what? Screw it. It's like $1 something.
Right.
I'll try them. Not bad. Definitely not as good as the Aldi one stuff.
That's usually what I've found, because I've gotten things there before, like their version of like a Swiss cake rolls and different stuff like that, and it's always like, these are okay,
but it's not the same.
But it's not quite the same. They had some things that are like the Little Debbie cosmic brownies, but theirs were, good God, were they dry?
Yeah.
I was like, these are absolutely no way in hell am I buying these again. But most of the stuff is like, it's in the ballpark, but it's not on the same team.
I like this idea, though, of getting one of every flavor. Just doing an egg roll flight.
Right.
I do like this idea, and I might have to do that. I mean, for the low cost of what, like $7 and change or something.
Right.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that'd be cool. That'd be fun. Be something good for the Patreon. I did put up a free 2-minute Patreon video of me making another white trash cocktail.
Oh boy.
Well, Brian, I have in this mug right here. Yeah. I made up more country time, right?
Right.
And my dumb ass, because I was at the end of my country time, I added a little too much water. And I'm like, fuck, this country time's gonna taste like shit now.
No, it's just going to taste closer to like diet country time. That's all.
Fair enough. Like I said, shit.
Right.
So I'm like, fuck, what can I do to like make this better? Because I did have more country time, but it was pink lemonade. And I don't think, I believe in lemonade segregation. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking in our drawers and cabinets trying to figure out what the hell I can put in there. And I find this little tiny can of pineapple juice. And I'm like, oh, fuck yeah. Pineapple lemonade, that sounds good. So I dump it in there, let it get cold, take a sip. Delicious. Right? So then my ass goes, well, what could go better with pineapple lemonade than PBR?
Oh, God.
So I made a pineapple lemonade PBR shandy, and it was amazing. It was so good. I had another one a couple days later.
PLBR shandy.
Dude, it was so good. I'm telling you, these white trash shandies, like next summer might be white trash shandy summer.
There you go. Whew. I like it.
Yeah, it's weird, but it's delicious. I wouldn't do that to like this. This is a nice earnest beer. I would never. But like a PBR or a Coors, fuck yeah.
All right,
I'll dump some country time in there.
Yeah, you will. Yeah, you will.
Good stuff.
Yeah.
Sorry, I went off on a tangent there. I got all excited.
A little bit.
Yeah.
It's all right.
But yeah, it's on Patreon. Patreon.com/saltylanguage. It's for free. You just have to join, and there's some stuff up there for free.
Mm-hmm.
So, just saying.
And all we do is, collect your DNA, which, you'll get a test kit in the mail.
Actually, yeah, of course, yeah.
Just scrape the inside of your cheek and sign over all your financial goods to us.
Yep.
Just standard procedure.
Life rights.
Yeah, exactly. No big deal.
No big deal.
What are you going to do with your life anyway?
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest.
Yeah. What do you do? Get up and go to work, or get up and play games or something?
Mm-hmm.
Or you can get up and give yourself to the Salty Language podcast.
Yep.
I have been playing a lot of Cult of the Lamb, which is a terrific game, by the way.
Yeah, I downloaded it because you've talked it up. So I'm like, well, I feel like I need to.
It's pretty good. I got my cult dialed in now, so. Like at first, I was making some silly mistakes. I didn't know where I was going with it, but now I got it all figured out.
Right. That makes
Everyone's
sense.
happy and full. Last time I played, everyone did a good mushroom ritual. They love me now.
Right.
It's terrific.
Are we talking psychedelic
Yes,
mushrooms?
sir.
Okay. Good. Just making sure.
It's like you have 2 days where your people are at 100% faith and it's locked. And then on day 3, some of them get sick, maybe deathly ill. But, when the faith starts dwindling a little bit, you just feed them psychedelics.
Right.
No big deal.
Yeah, right. As you do.
Here's some mushrooms, get back to work.
Right. Sure.
Yeah. Great.
That makes tons of sense.
So far, it works.
All right.
We'll see what happens in the future.
Right.
Yeah. I should change the name to the Cult of SLP.
Yeah.
It's still default Cult of the Lamb. But you can name your cult, so.
Okay, well, that's good. You should be able to.
I should name it the Cult of SLP. Because I don't think Salty Language Pod will fit.
So that probably means Cult of the Hamburglar won't fit either.
That might. You never know.
I'll have to try.
Yeah.
Robble.
Robble indeed.
Mm.
Hey, you, Brian. How's your week been since we last talked?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been getting my ass kicked pretty hard by depression, honestly.
Oh, that's a bummer, dude. I'm always a phone call away.
I know, but you always just send me straight to voicemail. So.
Well, because it's funny.
Yeah. I call his phone. It's, hey, man, what's going on? Oh, man, I really could use I got you.
Yeah,
like
fucking Archer voicemail.
Hey,
son of a bitch.
Got me again. Oh, shit. Yeah, I don't know. It's like, I talked about, how, I don't know, did I talk about it on here about my dad's birthday? How it kind of kicked my ass a little bit?
I don't think you did.
I don't think I did either. I did on The Crazy Life, if anyone wants to hear more about it. But it's, how it is. It's just once in a while, it kind of just a firm punch in the gut.
Right.
And I've gotten to where most of the time the birthdays don't bother me. It's more like the anniversary of his death bothers me the most. Yeah. And then, you're bothered a little bit on like Father's Day and Christmas type, because you're like, oh, my dad's not here, especially Father's Day, because everyone's like, here's my awesome dad. And I'm glad for them, but it's just also like, they're like, hey, here's my awesome dad, but also here's a back fist for you.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
Because you ain't got no dad. You ain't got no dad.
I can actually weigh on this a little bit in this episode.
Oh, yeah.
Because over the weekend, last week, my uncle got a hold of me from my dad's side of family.
Yeah.
And he's like,
which, as we've talked on here before, is pretty. You don't talk to that side very much.
Once my dad passed, and it was my grandparents and then my dad, and once he died, the family, it got gross. I don't know if I ever talked about it on the show.
I don't know. You've told me about it.
But it was like watching all my aunts and uncles like systematically go through the house looking for valuables. Basically, it was vile.
God, fucking vultures.
Yeah. So I was just like, you know what? I'm good.
Yeah, I understand. It was the same with my.
And honestly, once everyone, because no one really lived in Toledo except my aunt. Well, I don't want to put her name out there, but my aunt, and I honestly thought she moved away too. Turns out she lives in Perrysburg.
Oh,
but
okay.
So it was my aunt.
That's why it's like, other than your grandparents, I don't know that I don't remember meeting any of your family from your
They
dad's
all
side.
lived out of town basically.
Well, your one uncle. No, that was your mom's.
Oh,
that the one that lived with your grandparents that we
yeah,
used to
that was
go to.
yeah, that
Chip,
was yeah,
right?
my mom's
Yeah.
mom's
Right. Okay.
brother.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
my
So
dad
yeah,
was the youngest from a family of 10.
which is so wild.
Yeah.
Like I said, in all the years I've known you, I don't
Yeah.
I can you think I can't think of any time I met anybody.
I don't know, honestly.
Yeah.
But so yeah, and he's like, "Hey, it's Uncle Pete. I'm going to be in town, blah blah blah. You know, hey, you want to go fishing Friday? I can't. You got to give me more notice."
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
but so they had a fish fry on Saturday. Yeah, Saturday. And like Michelle was feeling like trash, so I gave her some time and I was supposed to be over, like they called me, "Hey, where are you at?" And I'm like,
Yeah.
and they're like, "Well, come over." I'm like, all right. And then I waited. And I started getting phone calls like they told me when I got there, they're like, "We didn't think you were coming over." You know, because
so waiting, they thought you were just kind of like
yeah,
putting them off.
yeah, and I was
basically.
waiting. I was like, well, you know, Michelle's laying down for a nap. Maybe she'll wake up, feel a little bit better, and she'll come.
Right.
But she ended up feeling like trash, so I went by myself. And which I was like, oh, this sucks. I had like the anxiety driving out there because I haven't seen these people since my dad's funeral.
Oh my God. Yeah. And that, I don't know how, I can't remember when your dad died, but I know it's been 20-ish years ago.
Yeah. I mean, because Logan
right?
he just turned, or he was about ready to turn 1.
Oh, actually, I could put a timeline on it because of the way things fell and us opening the shop. It would have been, yeah. So, okay.
But yeah, so I was just like, you know, but I was like, whatever, here we go. Right.
Yeah. Right.
And so it was my uncle and, you know, obviously my aunt from, you know, his wife, and my other aunt and her new husband, who I met before. I ran into him once at Manhattan's a long time ago. And I think I blew his mind when I was like, I remember you, you know?
Right.
But, yeah. And it was just like, I sat and we ate delicious fresh caught walleye, and we drank some bourbon. We just bullshit. And, you know, I heard some stories about my uncle that I'm like, I realize I don't know who this dude is. Like, he was just my uncle who taught me funny magic words when I was a kid. Like, I didn't realize he used to, like, mountaineer and go on 160-mile ski trips and shit.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, and I'm just like, so I'm going to make it a point to call him every month.
Okay.
Just because he's like, Uncle Pete, I don't know who you are.
Right.
Like, I don't know what you even did.
Somebody who's receptive. Yeah. If you've got someone who's like, hey, you know, we're family, we should occasionally, you know.
And it kind of put in perspective of how, like, important family is.
Yeah.
See, like, these people I haven't seen in forever, and they were overjoyed to see me. And like my big badass Uncle Pete, when I'm leaving, he's tearing up and stuff, and I'm like, oh man, I just like,
dude, all you got to do is go to patreon.com/saltylanguage. Only $3
a month. But and like part of me wonders too is like if they see me, they see my dad too.
Yeah, probably. You know? God, that means they haven't met your kids probably. Then have they?
I showed them. Like my kids were in Alaska.
Yeah, I didn't even think about that part of it.
Yeah, because like so it's bizarre.
Yeah, wow. Because that'll probably blow their mind too.
I mean, I showed them pictures. They're like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Like, like, hey, you want to see pictures of my kids? And you're like, oh, by the way, they're adults.
Yeah, exactly.
Like what?
Yeah. So I mean, it's like fuck. I really got to like try to put some of those bridges back up.
Yeah. You know? Well, and that's the thing was like, you know, they fell apart with, you know, wasn't like you said, it was such a toxic environment there for a bit.
To be fair, you know, I mean, like my aunt who I thought moved, who lives in Perrysburg now, like there was one Christmas, like in Thanksgiving time, that we went out there for Thanksgiving. We went out there for Christmas, and like Jeannie was like, and we never really went back. And I shouldn't have let her dictate that shit as well.
Fair enough.
So that was also part of it, was me, you know, not standing up for what I wanted to do.
Fair enough.
Which was most of my marriage. but whatever. Right. That's, you know, that's water under the bridge.
Right.
But
that's really cool, though. I'm glad you got to do it, because I know you've talked about it in here, and I know we've talked about, where like when you ran into, what was it, last summer? You ran into
oh yeah, my cousin.
somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah, your cousin. That's
Yeah.
what it was. I was like, and you were like, dude, I haven't talked to him since, and I was like, man, that's, it's weird because it seems weird, but then I think about it and go, I've got a cousin who lives not that far from here, and I couldn't tell you the last time I talked to her.
Yeah, it's weird.
And her brother doesn't, he's on Facebook and stuff, but I don't have any interactions with him, like, and I've got I've described it before. It's like she's my sister, but my dad gave her up for adoption when she was little. So, like, she is, but she isn't my sister. You know what I mean? So, but it's like I don't have any conversation like with her or her kids, and stuff. And I've done that with some of my nieces and nephews too. It's like I actually have one of my nephews knows my brother and I hang out occasionally, and he was like, "Hey, if it's cool, can I hang out with you guys? I'd like to spend some time with Brian occasionally," and I was like, "Oh, cool," like, yeah, that's fine. I hadn't thought about it ever because I just didn't think, you just don't think stuff like that because like I haven't really been part of his life a whole lot, and but he's for whatever reason curious about me, so cool.
So yeah, I'm attempting to fix some of that stuff that
very cool,
because it's like I know a lot of it's me too. Like I'm terrible about keeping in contact with people. I'm terrible at it.
Right.
Like there's a lot of friends we met through podcasting that I love to death, and I just lose contact because I don't go. It's not who I am. I'm not wired that way. For me to like get a hold of people, I have to specifically do it.
Yeah. My problem ends up being that if I don't do it when I think about it, I'll totally forget.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And I've told some people that I'm really bad about, I get distant without meaning to.
100%.
Like I kind of drop off the radar for people. And I don't mean to, and that's why I've told some people like, hey, if you realize I'm doing that, all you got to do is point it out to me and I will then try to make sure I make it a priority. Like, because my brain, for whatever reason, doesn't even realize I'm doing it.
I'm in the same boat, dude. Like,
and then all of a sudden it'll be like 6 months and I'll be like, I haven't talked to so-and-so in forever. And, kind of
exactly.
So,
that's exactly how I am. Because it's like, for me, every day's rinse, repeat. I wake up, I go to work, I come home, I go to bed. I don't think about like, I should call this person or I should text this person. I'm usually like, how can I fuck with my cult today? But no, I'm just trying to like not. I'm trying to get out of work mindset.
They got to be part of your cult for you to care. 100%, that makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah. Or go to Patreon.
Salty language. Yeah. Which also, side note, someone said hi guys in the chat. I don't know who it is. Oh, it's Robin. Hi, Robin.
Oh, hi, Robin. Thanks for jumping in.
You remember back in the day when we were part of like the Pod Gods, and we had all these podcasters that we associated with consistently?
Yes, because we were all really trying to network and help each other. Yeah,
I have a great idea that would have been awesome back then, but now would be so hard to pull off.
Okay.
Is to every 4 years do the Pod Olympics.
You're right. That would be very
how fun would that be, though?
Unless it could all be done via Skype or Zoom or something. I mean,
we'd have to do it something like that. Like give everybody like a subject to talk about. Almost. I don't know. It popped in my head the other day. I was like, Pod Olympics. Yeah. I wish we could have done this.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah, but we suck.
It was like, I was, we talked. I don't remember how long ago it was. It was a few episodes back. Yeah. About how, it's going back to the communications and all this stuff is like, we don't reach out on social media the way we should. We don't promote ourselves the way we should, all these things. We don't try to go on other podcasts like we should, all these things.
I have a good excuse for one of them.
Okay.
I hate social media.
Oh, I thought you were going to say you hate Hobie.
No, I love Hobie. They're great dudes. And honestly...
Are they? I wouldn't know. I've never met them. or been on their show.
I love guesting on podcasts. I really do. It's so much fun for me.
I actually do too, because it's weird because both the podcasts I do the recording. I mean, I don't really edit much, but I do that stuff. It's nice when I used to love going on Moving the Needle.
You can just play. It's like, it's like being the DM versus a player.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I had to do a little homework for that show because they always had a theme you had to talk about. Sure. So I'd have to do a little homework, and that was fine. I don't mind. And, I was on Clint's podcast, once or twice, and we were on Screams and Moans. That one we had to do a little homework on, but that was fine because it was, go watch a monster movie.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
Oh, no, twist my arm for having fun.
Yeah. Twist my arm for doing something I do anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But
what was that one show I did? You remember? I can't remember what it was, but it was.
Oh, it's the Robin Slim show.
Yes, that's right, Robin Slim. I was like, I'm not sure who these guys are, but yes, I'll be a guest on your show.
That was
and
great.
I had a lot of fun with those guys.
Yeah, that was great when they were like, "Hey, do you want to be on the show?" And you're like, "Sure." Oh man, but yeah, it's funny how we don't do all those things, but it was like where I'm going with this is like I know so many podcasts that are like us where they put out a buttload of shows, been doing it. It's a labor of love. They're not really making any money either.
For sure.
All this kind of stuff. And then you just see, like, especially when COVID hit, to where every famous person was like, I'm going to start a podcast.
Yes.
And now, like, I don't know if you saw it the other day, the Kelce Brothers got $100 million deal from Amazon for their podcast and stuff, which I get because those guys are like white hot right now.
Have they seen you when you open up a browser?
Yeah, no one's whiter than me when I open a browser. I mean, you're not wrong. There we go.
Yeah. Talk about white hot.
I'm definitely white. But it's like every time I see that, and I'm just like, that $100 million, I know they'll draw more people than shows like ours and all these others. But it was like, how many smaller podcasts could they really change the life of the people with that money?
Oh yeah.
Across the board. And it's like Travis and Jason Kelce are great. I love those guys, but they don't need the boost. They don't need the signal boost. They don't need the money.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's
dude,
like
I'll are you listening, Amazon?
Like me, I'm always like, hey, get your paper.
Of course.
Right? Like, I don't begrudge them taking the money, because if that were us, we'd be running to the bank as quick as possible.
Dude, Amazon could approach us tomorrow and be like,
with $10, and we'd be like, yes.
Be like, we'll give you a $200,000 contract. And I'm like, fuck yeah.
Tony'd be on the phone quitting his job. Like, dude, maybe let's not do that.
Yeah. Actually, no, I would still go to work, but I would give zero fucks.
Yeah. Right. Instead of the 0.01 that you give.
Yes, now. Yes. Yeah. I would go to work, and on the first day, like today, where it was hot as fuck, I'd be like, you know what? I'm gonna go podcast.
Yeah. But it's like I saw somebody compare it to like how sometimes when these celebrities will be like, I'm gonna work at Starbucks today, and people are like, oh wow, that's so cool, and it's like, yeah, okay, well, unless they're gonna like leave a giant tip for everybody else who works there, it's like, get out of the way and let the other people make their living.
Let the real people in here.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't begrudge the Kelce brothers at all, because I kind of also do. You know what I mean?
I get it, dude. I get it.
And I'm not saying we should get that money instead. I mean, we should, but
not that much. Well, yeah, I'll take that much.
But there's a bunch of like middling podcasts out there. They're maybe making a couple bucks, but are good quality content.
Yeah, saltylanguage.com.
And even like you said, a couple 100,000 or 100,000 or 50,000 could make a massive difference for those shows.
Give us $2,000 a month.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like,
I'll take an extra $1,000 in my pocket. I know you will too.
Sure, hell yeah. I got an expensive Coke.
Yeah, there you go. That Coke Zero is going up in price.
Right.
God
damn. But yeah, I know it's the socialist in me, but it's not even though. It's more of a, I see how many people are working so hard and trying so hard to do this.
Yeah.
And there's all this money just being thrown around, and it was like, like I said, I understand because they're buying their back catalog, they're buying future endeavors. They're, you know what I mean? Like I get the money amount. And again, those guys are drawing big numbers now, kind of like when Spotify gave Rogan that contract. Like I get
Kind of
it,
like when we
but
first started.
also, yeah,
Top 10
like
Apple Podcasts at one time.
right, yeah, it's like, but I also look at it and go, there's so many of us out there doing this because we love doing it, and it just stinks that there's just those opportunities are not there.
No,
for so many podcasts. Like unless you have like a viral podcast, like I can't even say Serial because Serial was put out by
NPR, wasn't it?
NPR, yeah, and NPR's got a platform, you know. And that's what bugged me when I saw more and more and more celebrities getting into it. Like I get it, you know, but it also is like, you know, because you also like I think a lot of us look at it and go, if you have dreams of maybe your podcast ever getting some modicum of success, you just get pushed further and further down every time a celebrity enters because they already have a built-in platform. They're gonna just inherently draw.
Well, it's like some couple going like, "Hey, let's open up a little grocery store in this small town," and then fucking Walmart moves in.
Yeah, exactly. You know? Well, you know, it's like especially the ones where it was like, you know, there were people doing like, you know, there's all sorts of people out there doing watches, you know, where they'll go watch a series and talk about it. And then you have ones come along that are like the people from The Office doing a recap, or like Fake Doctors, Real Friends, or the Always Sunny podcast, or where they're going, and it's like, which are you going to listen to? Couple random scrubs or people who were on the show? You know, it's like, well, obviously you want to listen to the people from Always Sunny talking about the behind the scenes stuff, and you know, it's like you just cannot compete with that, and it kind of sucks.
Oh, for sure.
Know? But what are you going to do? I mean, that's the nature of the beast. I get it. But it's also, I can't help but just, like I said, it's not sour grapes as much as it's just, I wish some of these companies would see value in non-celebrities.
Yes.
You know, and give those people a chance a little more, you know. But, you know, what are you going to do? It's that way in anything. If you got a chance to sign somebody big, you're going to sign them over some scrub, you know? Like if you're doing a commercial and you got a shot to sign a celebrity, you want the celebrity, you know?
Wait. But what about us?
Well, that's different.
What if I want to, you know, do an advertisement for Sheath underwear or something?
I mean, we know that the problem with us is our price is just way too high.
Yes, it's true. It's
very weird. For people with no success, we demand a lot. Our writers are pretty ridiculous.
All right.
It's really hard to get Danzig writing a unicorn on a Tuesday. You know what I mean?
Let me throw this out to you now. So if you could pick anybody to advertise with us, who would you pick?
Oh, man, that's a good question. Because it's got to be somebody I think we could have fun with.
Yes.
And also, like, my initial response would have been something like Liquid Death, right?
It's a good one.
But Liquid Death now has partnered with so many people that I'm kind of like, it's almost jumped the shark.
To be fair, I would take a Liquid Death sponsorship, even if they just sent me cases of water.
Oh, I would too. Yeah, that's what I said. That's who I'd want to say
merch.
First.
Their merch is fun.
But exactly, I think that's more of it, right? But that's what I was meaning. It's like I want somebody that I think we could have some fun doing commercials for. Yeah. I don't want, obviously, it wouldn't be a product that we'd never use
for sure.
You know, or like I don't want to do Blue Chew ads, you know, like that kind of thing. I mean, listen, if Blue Chew's out there and listening, which we know they are, you know, and they want to send us money or Blue Chew, that's fine. But I'm not like going out of my. I
would
just
podcast every week with a raging erection for a little Blue Chew money.
Dude, I got so tired of every podcast having those commercials and hearing people I never wanted to hear talking about. Like, I don't want to hear Ric Flair talking about boner pills, and yet there he is
talking about boner pills
late night talking about boner pills. Yeah,
I feel like we're more along the lines of getting like, you know, like Rhino Smash 8000 or something.
Yeah,
I don't think we're a Blue Chew level.
No, I don't think so either. But yeah, I don't know, because it would be fun to have something like, I don't know. Like I love talking about steakums and beef sheets and stuff like
I
that.
mean, that would be great.
Like, I would love to talk about beef sheets every week.
Fuck yeah.
I'd have zero problems with that. And for a long time, their social media was really funny.
What?
It was really fun.
Dude.
And I got a free T-shirt from them. So
I just was thinking, all right, so steakums, beef sheets, whatever you want to call them. What if that was the Iron Chef ingredient or not? Yeah, Iron Chef. You know, it's like
beef sheets,
like Curtin Rice, just all these boxes of steakums.
Right?
Beef sheets.
See, I'll tell you what,
I'd
honestly,
love to see that.
that's a cooking show that needs to happen, because one of my favorite challenges on Top Chef was the one where they give them, I forgot how much money, like actual cash, like $3 or whatever. They have to walk up to a vending machine and buy something from the vending machine, and that has to be what they feature.
That's hilarious.
Right? So they have to get like Cheez-Its or M&Ms
Dollar Tree
or
lobster egg rolls.
Yeah, right. And the thing is, if someone else takes, they only have like one of each thing. So if someone takes it, you can't use it. So you have to go with what's left. And they determine the order by like a previous contest or whatever. And it's like, I would totally watch a show where like Iron Chef, but all the ingredients are literally like college dorm ingredients.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Where it's like that, like beef sheets, like, okay, turn this into gourmet food.
Yeah, cup noodle.
Kind of, yeah. I mean, stuff like that, I think would be a lot easier,
I mean, it's got dried peas in it. Of course it's easy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's got 2 kernels of corn.
Yeah. It's like, well, what I did was I took the peas and the corn, and then I made this soup.
Yes.
Didn't use the noodles at all. Didn't use the broth.
See, I crushed the noodles and made noodle flour. And I baked this loaf of bread. Like, what?
See, actually, that would be really impressive. But it's like, I hate on like Chopped, when they give them an ingredient, it'll be like a parfait, and they're like, I took the cherry off the top and then I soaked it in blood. And it's like, they give you a whole parfait, you use the cherry, and that's enough.
Right.
Like, I hate that. I feel like they should have to use more of like a third of the ingredient or something like that to really make it challenging. Because so many of those things they give them, there's like 1 or 2 things you can pull out of there that are just normal ingredients.
I mean, they seem to forget that much like a donkey, parfaits have layers.
Yes. And parfaits are delicious. Who doesn't love parfait? Everyone. Anyway.
Anywho. Robin also says Funyuns are hysterical on X.
Oh, there you go. Funyuns. Dude.
And they did a convenience store Top Chef, apparently.
Oh, did they?
So, yeah.
Okay. Like, I know there was a challenge like that I remember from past seasons where okay, cool.
Nice.
Because that's one of the best challenges, because it forces these uppity chefs to have to use like the worst ingredients possible, because everything's like super processed.
Well, of course. I'll have
it's fantastic. Yes, the processed.
I'll have the processed. All right, now I got to decide, Brian, is my coffee it's gonna be too hot? And should I go up to Country Time Pineapple?
Too hot.
It's probably way too hot, I'm sure.
Every time you say too hot, all I can think of is it's the Eddie Murphy sketch where he's playing James Brown.
I'm in this. Logan got me this tumbler from Alaska. It's Skagway Brewing Company.
All right.
Apparently the oldest brewery in Alaska.
Okay. Formed in 2020.
Oh yeah, dude. You put like a good amount of bourbon cream into anything.
Oh,
bourbon cream makes decaf taste delicious.
I thought you put pineapple juice in there. All right.
Oh yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah. But yeah, anyway, so to come full circle on this, congratulations to the Kelce brothers, but
Oh, so beef sheets, steakums. I'm going with Dollar Tree egg rolls as a sponsor. I want.
Listen, what Robin suggested would be fine too, because listen, the two of us have consumed.
Dude, I do love a Funyun.
Copious amounts of Funyuns in our lives.
If we
Not
ever
as much as when we were
did
younger.
the Pod Olympics, we could make Pod Olympic rings out of Funyuns.
We have to be careful. They're very litigious about the rings.
We'll make it upside down. Okay. 3 on the bottom, 3 on top, 4 on the bottom. Fuck you guys.
Okay. Yeah, we have 25
Yes,
rings.
yes. 25 on the top, 24 on the bottom.
Right. Like at Christmas, how you have like the paper loops that's like the chain.
Are you talking about the like the garland, or do you mean like a the fuck are those Christmas countdown things called? Advent calendar.
Oh, I'm just thinking it's like a long thing of like you just take like strips of paper and you just like
that's what I'm saying.
of,
But
like a big
I'm
chain.
saying you make a garland or you making the calendar.
I don't know because I didn't know there was a difference in the two.
All right, I'm about to school you. So
All right,
when I was a
please.
kid, in my household, we had this little fucking bell. It was like cardboard probably because we were poor and white trash.
Right.
And at the top it just said like Christmas or whatever. And then what I would do is I would take 25 strips of paper, make rings, usually alternating red and green. And then once December 1st hit, every day I rip a ring. And then as soon as I get to the bell, it's motherfucking Christmas.
Oh, you didn't get a gift at the end of each
one? Well, it was
one?
Christmas. I got all the gifts.
Well, no, I know, but like Advent calendars usually like there's
I got the satisfaction of ripping paper.
Okay, yeah, you were poor, like you said.
Yes. That was my entertainment for the night.
That's how you know you were poor, because your parents convinced you that ripping paper rings.
Dude, it was the highlight of Christmas for a long time.
It's a gift in itself.
It was the highlight.
Okay. You know what's interesting is like every year they put out Funko Pop Advent calendars, and they've put out a WWE one, and I should have bought one and I didn't, because they have like little bitty WWE pops in them.
Right.
If they put one out this year, maybe I'll get one. But I always kind of want to, and I just never do. But you know, like Lego puts one out now, and there's all sorts of ones where you just get like a little toy or whatever every day up until Christmas.
Oh, here's what I want.
You just want paper
Dude,
rings.
here's what I want to do, and I am not in the right business to do this, but wouldn't it be great if you could put out an advent calendar?
Dildo of the day.
That's also a good idea. Of various sizes and girths.
Sure. You never know.
Never know.
It's like the beer advent.
You always got to take it to the hilt.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
Which is a great name for an album. Take it to the hilt.
Take it to the hilt. It seems like an 80s.
It really does. So advent calendar doesn't have to be big, but every day, like I want it to open up like the Griswolds with the windows.
Oh
right?
yeah. Okay.
I want it to open up like that. That's what I'm picturing in my head.
It's got a jelly of the day in
basically, but every day's a different weed gummy of various milligrams that you don't know what you're in for.
Okay, I actually really
one day's like 3 and it's nice and mild. One day's like 500 and you're fucked.
Oh, you're dead. Yeah, I mean not dead, but like dead to the world. I mean,
I love this idea.
I love that there's so many different ones, because there's ones where they have like, you know, little bottles of bourbon and beers and all this kind of stuff.
I've had the beer one before, and it's terrific.
Yeah, right.
It's really cool, actually.
Yeah.
Because you just rip into it, and you're like, what's today? Oh, this is a beer I've never seen before. It's awesome.
I'll tell you what today is. Drunk.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. It's another miracle of Christmas. More liver damage.
Yay. Thanks, Santa. Oh man.
Oh yeah. I should just put this in my coffee every day, Brian.
You should. Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
Just take a bottle of it with you to work. It'll be all right. Or a flask.
Keep it on your hat.
I'm not wearing
God damn it.
I can keep it under my hat over there. If you mean the bottle, I just store it under my hat somewhere else. Nice. Dude, I watched the second episode of Chimp Crazy last night.
I watched the first episode.
Pretty nutty, huh? Dude, the second episode takes things up a little bit. I will not spoil anything unlike the first episode where I spoiled a lot of it.
That's okay. It was worth it.
But yeah, for sure watch it. Yeah. We'll have to talk after you watch the second episode.
That lazy, I don't want to even Google it because I don't want any spoilers.
Yeah.
I was going to pull up some images for the video people, but it's okay.
Right. Her last name's Hex, I think, isn't it?
I don't know, but she is insane.
Yeah.
And she's gross. And like, I'm like, where does she buy these outfits? It looks like those targeted like Shein ads.
Yeah, probably.
Like, oh, that'd make my ass look good. No.
Well, that was something I kind of wondered, because I was like, she said she was a nurse, I think, previously. I'm like, well, she must have banked some money because, to keep paying for all this kind of stuff.
She obviously has money.
But I'll tell you, the second episode explains her money.
Oh, really?
Like I said, no spoilers. Okay. But other than that,
Can I tell you the one thing in the first episode that I was like, what the fuck?
Oh yeah, yeah. We can talk
all right.
anything you want to talk about in that one.
So there's this scene where it's like when they're talking about Chimp Party, and you can just like basically.
Which, by the way, how sad are you that you didn't have a chimp party as a kid?
I'm very sad, actually.
Yeah.
I was just sit in the corner with my paper rings.
5 paper rings.
But that chimp party gimmick. And they have this video where the chimp's like just about like wrench some toddler's foot off.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah.
And then the dude's like, I don't know what happened. We've never had an incident like this. And I'm looking at his face. I'm like, the fuck happened to this guy? And then it cuts to some chimp like rushed him and bit his nose off.
Yeah.
And he's like, we've never had an incident like this, guys.
Yeah.
Ignore my horribly scarred face.
Right. Yeah. Well, again, it's like for a long time, chimps, like if they had them on movies, TV shows, whatever, they were young ones.
Yeah.
Because once they hit a certain age, they had to retire them. As we talked about this, I think last week, it was like because they get violent potentially.
Yeah, like us.
Yeah, basically. Well, yeah. I mean, couldn't tell you how many faces I've ripped off as an adult.
So many faces. So many noses.
So face off.
Yeah. You gotta do this.
Oh, sorry. Face off. Yeah. Yeah, it's a fun ride.
That first episode was wild.
I'll tell you though, after watching the second one, and again, the second episode sets you up to go, freaking, it's like I really wish I could binge it. I really, really do. I hate that I've got to wait a week on this. I feel like these kind of shows, they should just drop all at once.
Yeah.
I really feel like they should. There's other shows I understand doing a week by week to draw, the ratings and whatever, but like listen, tonight at midnight, the new Lord of the Rings, season starts. So, on Amazon, and I'll be watching that tonight. But
it's no Chimp Crazy.
Only Murders in the Building just dropped.
We did watch the first episode tonight.
I can't hear you now.
What? Really? How about now?
Nope, nothing.
How about now? What the fuck is going on here? They can hear me on the video. I can see my audio moving.
Oh boy. Sorry, folks. We're
technical difficulties, ladies and germs.
Difficulties here.
Well, at least on Brian's end. Nah. See her. Oh.
Wow, we may have to take a quick
Brian,
break
it's fascinating. It switched the microphone midstream.
Wow.
That's amazing. Thank you, Skype. You're the best. The video got everything. The audio did not.
Okay. So what I had said, I know you heard me, but I want to give you a chance to say it again. Only Murders in the Building's new season, the first episode dropped. I haven't watched it.
We watched it right before I came down here.
Okay.
Yeah. Of course it's good. It's Only Murders.
Right. Yeah, I'll be watching it, soon. But I was watching wrestling last night, and then afterwards I was like, I'm going to read some comics. So
nice.
I did that instead of watching more TV. I've been trying to get my brain back in the mindset of ending my nights by reading comics or something like that instead of like scrolling my phone with some random show mindlessly on.
I mean, that's not a bad move though.
No, and the next move is hopefully I'll get myself back into trying to read books a little bit. We'll see.
I've also been trying to do that, and it's hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My attention span is
so weird because I mean, we talked about this, I think, on the last episode, or maybe the previous one. I don't know. It's so hard because
to say goodbye to yesterday.
Yes. No, because I used to be a insane reader myself.
Me too. Yeah.
And I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. It's crazy. Like I said, I used to have 3 books going at one time, and I could tell you what was going on in each book and talk about them. And now, dude, it's hard for me to retain. Like if I read a paragraph, I may not retain it. It's wild.
Crazy.
I hate it. I hate it so
Crazy,
much,
bro.
Because I'm so jealous of when I see people that are like, this was like my 150th book of the year.
Yeah, tackle them, beat them up.
Yeah, I'm like, wow, my number is, let me check my stats. 0.
Yeah.
That's how many books I've finished this year.
You know what's crazy to me though, and this is me, is we go to the library pretty frequently, and I always grab books.
I do.
And then I look at them. I'm like,
yeah. They just sit.
Those are cool. I'm glad I got those. Oh, time to take them back? Or like I have a book on my phone because I was trying to figure out what I could, because I'm trying to advance my career in any way I can. And I was like, oh, there's this book about like quality and shit. I'm like, free from the library. I'll download it. Have I even started it? No. I've got an audio book that I've listened to like 2 chapters on in my book or in my phone. I've got my Kindle that's got 2 books downloaded on it. I've started reading one of them. I haven't picked it up in over 2 weeks. Nice. I am a cunt.
I have on my desktop, I have 10.
God damn it.
10 books that I've downloaded, that I've bought and downloaded over the years, that I've had for who knows how long. In my room right now, I literally have Rick Rubin's book, like the actual book I bought because I had a Barnes & Noble gift card. So I bought his book and I haven't started it yet. I've got 2 on my iPad that I've started probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago and still have not finished. So I get it, dude. I got over in my storage, I've got boxes with books that I've never read. Yep. And the worst part was like for a long time, I was constantly adding to like my wish list for books I want to read. And finally I'm like, I got to quit doing this because I'll never, ever catch up on this. It's just impossible. I can't consume. You know how I was with podcasts. Yeah. I got to a point and I was like, dude, I was just feeling so overwhelmed and pressured that finally I'm just like, I'm done. Like if I want to go back into listening to podcasts, I will. But like currently I don't listen to any.
Oh, really? I thought you still had a couple.
No, I mean, I will at some point go back and listen to some, but I'm probably going to be really picky about a lot of them because I got to a point that I just felt too much pressure.
Right.
So yeah, I think a lot of it's also I was trying to get more music back into my head.
Fair enough.
Because music brings me more joy than podcasts do.
I've been listening to weird playlists because I'm sick of listening to the same music all the time. Fair. And I got one for you, Brian. I saw this guy live when we went up to see Hatebreed.
Kiss Army. Oh, okay.
Hatebreed and Clutch. This dude opened for him. His name's Amigo the Devil.
Why have I? Yeah, I'm sure you told me about that. I at least,
I just one day I was sitting out on the deck and I'm like, I need to listen to music, but I need something different. Let me just look at my artists that I favorite, and starts with an A right at the top of the list. So I made a playlist off of that, and he's kind of like dark folksy music, and I'm listening to it. And I'm like, this is probably what country music should be, because the playlist, it's all these different artists I've never heard of, and it's all these songs that are all just basically like about meth or about like hiding in the shadow of a Spanish fortress or
now I understand why you've identified.
Yes,
those are things you do on the regular.
On the reg. But because I hate country. Country music.
Current country I hate.
Country pop is the worst. But this stuff I was like, damn, I dig this playlist.
Okay.
So you might just do like Amigo the Devil and then just do radio.
I didn't think about that. That's actually a good way to kind of get around the same songs all the time. That's why I love when I go into the grocery store, I pull up the Spotify weekly gimmick, because for me, since I don't listen to a ton of stuff on there, it plays stuff I've never heard almost every time. And there's so many times where I'm like, oh, I really dig this rapper or whatever. So then I'll favorite them or something. And then later on, like when I'm sitting here, sometimes I'll pull up and I'll just listen to like one of their albums or something like that. And whatever. That's how I found, it's a guy we follow on Twitter. His name's Fantastic. Is it Negrito? I think it is. And I've had a couple short back and forths with him on Twitter because he had a new album coming out and he was dropping like, here's my new single type of thing.
Was that the guy that gave us the go ahead to play one of his songs on our podcast a long time ago?
No. Okay. That was somebody else. But it was cool because it was like, it was just different music, and it was cool because that's how I found it, was off that playlist. And then, you dig into it a little more. Like that one night, God, I can't remember that guy's name. The one where I talked about him on the podcast, and it was kind of like a bluesy soul kind of. I can't think of the guy's name, but man, I went through and just listened to
I know
his
what you're
albums
talking about. I could see the album in my head.
Yeah, and it was his newest album was so well. I don't know. He may have another one by now, but the newest one at the time
Robert
was
Finley.
so good. Yes, and oh my God, he blew my mind. He was he was so good. But yeah.
But yeah, so that's been my new thing is if I want to listen to something different, I just look at my favorite artist that I never listen to and just make a radio station.
Yeah. Well, that's what's funny is like, when I hang out with Jeannie, she'll have like more modern rock music on her radio. And it's so funny because I'm like, I don't know who any of these people are, And she's like, you don't know. I'm like, I don't listen to anything new because the stations I listen to play. I mean, listen, I listen to shit from like the 90s to early 2000s. That's basically
Slow
my
down.
wheelhouse.
We all discovered at the same time Necrogoblicon.
Okay, fair enough.
And they're still terrific.
You're right. But but it's like some of these new bands that are out there. It's like I've heard like one or two songs, but if you held a gun to my head, if you played the song, I'd be like, I don't know who this is or what this song name is. I couldn't tell you either, right? But I'm watching America's Got Talent last night. This girl comes out and she's like, I'm going to be playing a Metallica song on guitar. She comes out and she no more hits the thing at the beginning. And I'm like, oh, it's Master of Puppets. I hear that bam, for that very first hit of the guitar. It was kind of cool because she has her guitar tuned, so it sounds a little like a sitar.
Oh, interesting.
And she was playing Master of Puppets. It was actually pretty cool. And they mentioned that Metallica has never given anyone the right, the okay to play their songs on that show before. She's the first one. And she's like a teenage girl, but dude, she can shred.
Nice.
So it was, and she was playing the like Kirk Hammett part of Master of Puppets. So, it was impressive. But anyway, that is a really good way to maybe get some newer music in my head. Not that I don't like the same shit that I've listened to forever, but it's refreshing to get some new stuff in there occasionally.
Well, I mean,
too,
I was sitting out there and I had my earbuds in, I was smoking a cigar and I was just like chilling on the porch. And I'm just like, really listening to the music, It's just like, wow,
right.
this is a good song. Favorite. This is a good song. Favorite.
That's what I always used to do. Like whenever I got like a new CD, was I would sit in my room at night, put the CD on. If it had a jacket or a book that had the lyrics, I'd go through the lyrics as I was listening, so it helped commit them to memory. But if not, I was really listening, or I was drawing while I was doing it because I used to draw all the time. And that's the other thing I found is when I listen to new music now, I'm usually doing other things, and you don't pay as much attention.
Not that I'm advocating smoking, but that's like one of the big reasons I love a cigar is because I can't do it inside. So I'm not playing video games. I'm not watching TV.
Right. I mean, you could take your Switch outside,
I've done that before. It's fun.
Yeah.
But usually I just listen to music, or sometimes I'll do a podcast. But usually I listen to music, and it's like I have to just sit there and just focus on it, which is also one of the reasons I like smoking cigars with people, because you're just sitting there talking, because there's really not much else you're gonna do, and I love it.
It's one thing it is something you and I have always been pretty good about, which is we generally, whenever we're around each other, or like if Mike's over or we're sitting in the living room, whatever it is.
This weekend.
Okay. Usually it's phones down though. Like we're generally not all sitting there dinking. I mean, occasionally, but for the most part, we're all pretty good about like just bullshit and spending time with the boys, or you and Michelle or whoever's around. It's like we've always been pretty good about doing that. And I've talked on here countless times about like, especially if I've had a couple to drink, my phone stays in my pocket pretty much after that. I'm not constantly pulling my phone out for any reason, So here's a question for you. Have you ever heard of spoon burgers or spoon beef?
No. Like spoon burgers definitely sounds like a thing.
Okay, they both are.
Spoon apparently. Beef?
Okay, so here's how this came about. In one of the Twitter groups I'm in, somebody made a comment that they were making, I think they called it spoon beef. And it was like, okay, what the hell is that? And a guy in the group was like, because she was like, it's like a sloppy Joe, but it's not tomato based. And another guy was like, oh, is that like gravy based? And I'm like,
wait,
because I'm thinking
a gravy based sloppy Joe.
I'm immediately going, there's
Hold
something
on,
here,
that
right?
sounds amazing.
Right. So I'm like, what is he talking about? So to the Googles, and I type in, spoon burgers or spoon
beef.
yeah, that famous
I love
Soundgarden
that
song.
It's great.
But the first thing that really comes up when you start looking at them is that it's more along the lines of, we've talked about loose meat sandwiches.
It's the terriblest name for it.
Which is a terrible name, right? But the one that I have here, that it's how to make these slow cooker Mississippi sloppy joes is what this says. Because I typed in like sloppy joes but with gravy, and then I also typed in spoon beef. So the first one that came up was I'm going to do another one first, which was, it says classic spoon burgers. I'll have the recipes for both these in the notes for anyone who wants to try. Okay, so this one, you use ground beef, yellow mustard, ketchup, brown sugar, black pepper. So basically almost like a barbecue kind of situation. But then you also use a can of condensed chicken gumbo soup.
Wait, what?
And I was like, I'm like, what? But apparently, and I'm looking at it and it's like, they rave about how good it is. And it's like, I kind of want to try this.
What? Condensed specifically chicken gumbo soup.
Yes, because apparently Campbell's makes a chicken gumbo soup.
Oh, our man Cheeto in the chat.
All right, hey Cheeto. So I was like, I kind of want to try these because I can't imagine that it's bad. And the person in this article is like, you have to use this soup because that's where a ton of the flavor comes from. What you'll notice is you barely season the meat with, there's no like garlic powder and blah, blah, blah.
You just season it with condensed gumbo?
Yeah, and mustard, ketchup, brown sugar, and pepper.
Wow.
And it's, so it looks, and it's basically, you make it, brown and drain the beef, add all the stuff, bring it to a boil and let it simmer for 10 minutes and serve it. So it's stupid easy to make. The list of ingredients, I have everything in our house all the time except the gumbo. I was going to
say, wait a minute.
Well, you know me.
I love a gumbo.
I just drink chicken gumbo soup all the time. So the other one I found.
Wait, Brian. Can we call tumblers gumblers? Just full of hot gumbo.
Oh yeah. That's right. That's how I do it.
Like, fill up that gumbler for me.
The Gumbler. Wasn't he the guy that was on the Today Show a long time ago?
Yeah,
Brian
Gumbler. He's just made a shrimp.
Greg Gumbler was
he's terrifying.
His brother did sports
for a long
time.
That guy made a smoked sausage. Also terrifying.
Yeah, Greg Gumbler. True. All right, so the other one, the Mississippi Sloppy Joe, you ground beef ranch dressing mix.
Slow down. Wait, hold on.
They're talking powder.
Okay, actually, this sounds like a Mississippi pot roast. Okay, so you had me when you said ranch. I'm like, all right. Well, I'm back in. Okay.
Okay, so ranch dressing mix, like a packet of it or whatever. Brown gravy mix.
Mississippi Sloppy Joe. Is that what it's called?
Slow cooker Mississippi Sloppy Joes. It's from lifewiththecrustcutoff.com.
I don't know how to spell Mississippi. Apparently.
You put a little bit of oatmeal in there to, keep
what
it
the
together.
Fuck? You put oatmeal? I'm not looking for healthy here, son.
But ketchup, water, pepperoncini juice.
Okay. So it's...
And it looks from the pictures, you actually use the pepperoncinis also, which
also
sounds
Mississippi
fine.
Pot roast.
Little Worcestershire, brown sugar, butter, and that. So again, pretty simple gimmick here. Oh, hello. Sorry, I just saw a link that's something I want to look at.
See, I've made Mississippi Pot roast, which is ranch, pepperoncinis, gravy mix, and something. Okay. It was delicious. It really was.
Okay, so that's basically what you're
something
going for here.
in it completely derailed me.
Probably that.
I don't know what gravy. It was. The brown gravy note.
Now, I did see the other recipe I talked about with the gumbo soup. I saw another version of it that uses French onion soup.
Fair enough.
Instead. But anyway, This is the only one I saw with gravy in it. So, anyways, then I went back in the group and I realized that the dude made that up. Like, he wasn't like, oh, I make this all the time. He was just like being, like goofing around and was like, what's it got, gravy? He was meaning like, well, sloppy joes always have a tomato base. So what are you using instead? And she meant she actually has a seasoning she puts on that for the whatever you call it, spoon beef or whatever it's called. And basically the spoon beef is basically a loose meat sandwich.
Oh.
It's basically the same similar idea.
Fair enough.
But I had never even heard of spoon beef before. But I will say this. I like the name spoon beef much better than loose meat.
Yeah, yes. It's loose meat just sounds horrible.
Loose meat sounds like something that's going to get you arrested.
Apparently, we need to look up Mississippi Sloppy Joe on Urban Dictionary, according to Cheeto.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
But there's nothing. Cheeto. Mississippi Sloppy Joe. Looked that up on Urban Dictionary. Yikes.
Dude, I just found another recipe I may have to try.
I see Sloppy Joe Friday.
No, I'm looking at Korean beef.
I made that up,
Joe.
you son of a bitch. God damn, nice. I fell for it.
The old gag of getting Tony with a false
It
line.
hasn't happened in a long time. I mean, to be fair, though, the Sloppy Joe on Urban Dictionary is taking a crap on a flat-chested woman's breast, then titty fucking her.
Wow. I thought that was a something chili dog or something.
Urban Dictionary doesn't know what the hell they're talking about. Yeah,
that's fair. All right. Well, I got one last thing because I have a couple other things, but I think we can move one of them to.
Cheeto says good night. He's got work in the morning. Later, buddy. We love you.
No, I kid. But oh shit, I already had a link for it. Silly me. So I'm gonna save. Actually, I lied.
God damn it, Brian.
Sorry. The first one real quick is, did you see the PlayStation Plus games for September?
You mean Quidditch Champions?
Yeah,
I can't wait. Was it MLB The Show and It Takes Two?
I'm actually excited about that because MLB The Show I'm playing is whatever was the last one that was free, I think 5 years ago. So I'll probably for sure jump in and play that for free. And then Little Nightmares too.
The only thing I could say about the Quidditch one is we get it on release. It's kind of like what Xbox Game Pass is doing.
Oh, okay.
So it's a brand new game that we get free, which that's cool. But for people like me who don't give a shit about Harry Potter or Quidditch, the whole
you only say that because you haven't played the game, dude. In 3 weeks, all I'm gonna hear about is
I'm gonna show up
with
a Quidditch jersey. I've got a little gold thing through my nose or something.
Yeah.
Here's what I don't understand about the Quidditch thing. Bear with me. I don't know. I've never read any of the Harry Potters. I've only watched one movie. Right. I know it's the sport of the school. It's soccer-esque, I think.
Okay. And I honestly, you know what's funny? I did the Quidditch ride at Universal, and I still couldn't.
That's fair. And I know there's a gold flying thing, and I don't know if that's the Quidditch or if that's something else. I don't know. But I do know if you catch that, no matter what the score, your team wins. Therefore, it's a stupid sport. That's all I know. Yeah.
Fair enough. All right.
I will add it to my library, and unless it gets amazing reviews, I will never play it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the same way because I'm like you. I pretty much I generally add everything, even though I'm very much still regretting that somehow I missed Power Washer Simulator because they got a Shrek download DLC.
It's so good.
They have a Shrek DLC where you can clean the swamp out down the road. It's a pay one.
I mean,
but still,
that's my favorite thing to do is look at weird PlayStation Plus games.
Yeah,
and I just enjoy it forever.
I remember hearing Little Nightmares 2 is a pretty strong game.
Never played the first one.
Nope, me either. So I hope I don't have to understand.
Probably do. That'd be my guess.
It's a horror-themed platform adventure where you control Mono, a young boy trapped in a distorted and broken world, joined by Six, the raincoat-wearing hero from the original Little Nightmares. Only you can help her from fading away into nothingness. So I'm wondering, it'll be interesting because if you play by yourself, I assume the computer controls the other character for you. Hopefully, it'll have decent AI.
If not, I mean, if they got like co-op, I'd play co-op.
Yeah, it could be fun for us. Yeah, that's what first thing I looked for.
We haven't played Police Simulator in a while,
right? Oh, I was looking on the cult game to see, and it looks like you can play 2 players, but I think it's couch co-op. I don't think it's online. So I was very disappointed because I was like, dude, if we can run a cult together, this could be a lot of fun.
That would be fun.
I mean, it still could be. We just would have to only do it when like I come over or something. It's just not the same.
It has. You know? We'd really need to. Once this weather turns shitty again, or you buy Helldivers. Yeah, we need to play some Police Simulator or some something. EDF. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I do miss playing EDF. That game's so much fun.
Yeah.
Cheeto, I know you're not into chat anymore. I'm looking at you, though. You should play EDF with us, you son of a bitch.
All right. So the last thing I have is like a shut up and take my money. Because they're re-releasing The Batman into theaters. And, you know, like the current gimmick for the theaters is they're doing all these like fancy popcorn buckets. So for Batman, they're doing a bat signal popcorn bucket.
All right.
And it looks like it lights up.
I don't even understand that.
And yeah, it's like $35. I really want one of these. But I also don't want to spend $35.
I mean, it's cool, but I don't understand the popcorn bucket craze.
I don't either. I mean, some of them are just cool things. You know, like the designs are really cool on them and like the
Dune one that you could
this
bang.
This is one I would just want because
like
what was that? Oh yeah. Well, you could bang any of them,
that's
really.
True. That's true.
It's just up to you, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah, I saw this the other day and I was like, I really kind of want one of these. So if anyone's out there paying attention, you know, it should be out in theaters now. And you know, my birthday's in a couple weeks, so it is very conveniently timed.
So convenient. It looks like it has a clear bottom, and then you can like once it's empty of popcorn, you can rotate it and probably put a light behind it.
Yeah, because it definitely says it lights up. So
it does. Sure, it says it actually lights up.
It does light up.
That's hilarious. Yeah. Okay, fair enough.
Yep. And I don't care about I mean, they have a cup also that's a collectible gimmick, which is way too much for it. It's like $12 for what looks like a normal cup. That's like the history of the Batmobile, which is kind of cool, but not $12.
Why are they re-releasing this?
It's Batman's 85th anniversary. And I know it's also going to have a sneak peek of the Penguin series.
You know, if they were really cool, they would have re-released to theaters the 80s Batman with Michael Keaton.
Yeah.
That would have been the tits.
I agree. The part that really sucks about a lot of these popcorn buckets is because, first of all, a lot of people know that they'll sell. Like the Alien one at one time was selling for like $200 on eBay.
Christ.
Yeah, and because they sell out like right away, and like there's people who go to the theaters just to get the buckets. Like they're not even there for the movie sometimes. And you know, so the odds of getting these sometimes are not very good. That's why it's like it wouldn't shock me if this is already on eBay for
way too much money.
You know. Yeah, exactly. And I was like, I doubt you can order it on. Like they probably had them on sale online.
I don't know. I guess to each their own. But if I go see a movie and I see a cool popcorn bucket, it's just not in me to buy it.
Well, also they're
that too.
You know, it's not like they're $10. You know, like if they were like, hey, you can get this filled with popcorn for like $15, I'd be like, okay, you know, I get a cool souvenir and whatever. Yeah, I'm looking right now. They're going for about $80 to $100 on eBay right now. Yeah, they are really cool looking. Like seeing actual pictures of them, it's really cool. I really would.
All right, I know we're getting a little long here, real quick, but this is gonna be a lightning round. movie deserves a popcorn bucket, and what is it? I have one in my head already. I'll go first. Pulp Fiction, The Briefcase.
Oh, that
Best
would be
popcorn.
awesome. Seven, The Box.
Yes. All right, perfect. That was a great lightning round. Excellent work, Brian. Excellent work. We crushed it. Yeah, that was amazing.
All right, let's go to the Q, the W.
Quenty's head. Last week we asked you guys, you're in hell. What's on TV? On Instagram, our pal at Freehand Furniture, a.k.a. Nickel, we love that boy. He says, dog shows, daytime TV, anything on CNN or Fox News. And then he also added, which this one hurts my soul, The Christmas Story on repeat. You son of a bitch.
Listen, I'll say this. I love Christmas Story. I'm not one that's going to sit there and watch it all day, but you got to watch it.
If I wake up in hell and it's on TV, I'm like, all right. You know?
Like, I thought this was hell. And they're like, oh, this is the TV version. You're like, no.
With all the TNT ads.
Yeah,
and then sure. Sharon, she says Goodfellas, but it's edited for TV.
Oh, that's a great answer, though. Because there's some movies I think I mentioned that last week or on the Patreon when we were talking about movies from the 90s. And it was like, whenever this comes on, I'm like, I can't stand, I don't remember what movie it was now, but I'm like, I can't stand it when it's edited. Like, I want to, Pulp Fiction might have been it. But it was like, there's some of those kind of movies. It's like, I want to watch the whole movie. And when they chop them for TV, plus they edit the swears, it just takes you right out of the movie.
Where'd you get that scar, tough guy? Eating watermelon?
Yeah. Yeah.
What?
Yeah. Although, in fairness, some of the covers from like the 80s and 90s were freaking hilarious.
It's true.
How terrible
we got
they
a
were.
lot of comments on Facebook.
Yeah, we did.
Like 11.
Good.
Well, plus, I think we both shared it, so I should see what we got in shares.
We did.
So let's see here. Stephanie, she says Grey's Anatomy. I'm okay with that being a hell show. Greg says Ghosts. I don't even know what that is.
The TV show Ghosts? Oh, well, first of all, is he talking the American one or the British one? The British one
just says
great.
Ghosts.
Okay. The U.S. one's okay, but it's really smarmy. The British one's great, though.
And then Kurt, he says The Nanny. That's pretty solid. Yeah, pretty solid on that one.
Yeah, just listening to Fran Drescher's voice over and over. Oh, my God,
that would be the worst.
Mike,
he says The Kardashians.
Okay, that's fair.
Kristen says The View.
Okay, also fair. As you've talked about in the past of, what was it? Didn't one of your jobs, didn't they used to have it
my
on?
current job used to be on in the break room.
Oh, current?
Yeah.
Okay, I couldn't remember if it was this one or the last one.
Which, by the way, I was watching BoJack Horseman, and their version of The View is called The Squawk, and it's all birds. Hilarious.
God, I need to finish that
hilarious.
Show. Keep forgetting to go back.
Which Heather says, I second The View, and then Kristen responds, I don't do TV, but the third response right after any talking head. Yeah.
Okay.
Amy says Polar Express.
You know, the movie itself is fine, but the animation's weird to me.
Oh, it's
like
dead eyes.
It's yeah. So
Frankie says Saved by the Bell, the caffeine pill episode.
Just that episode over and over. Oh God. Ugh.
And Monica says, I second the Kardashians or Kalilu, or however you pronounce that weird kid's
Kalilu,
name.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised more people didn't say kid shows.
I know, right? Diamond Top fan, Big Dev, he says Kids Bop, and that's what I call music commercials. Hilarious. Okay. Diamond Top fan Kiki says reruns of 3 a.m. infomercial from the 90s.
See, it depends on what they are. Because I'm a person, we've talked before, I enjoy a terrible
when we're like, whoa! So,
yep. Because here's my deal, right? Like, my thing is, like, a lot of things, I can handle watching shitty TV if I can make fun of it. That's why, like, before when I was like, political ads was my answer because I can't make fun of them. I just rage at them.
Rage, fucking rage.
Yeah, so that's where my line is. And so, yeah, if I can make fun of it, though, I can enjoy it.
Valerie says presidential debates of the past decade.
That's
very
fair.
fair.
That's very similar to what I was saying. Yeah, it's just
Clint
stupid.
says Jersey Shore.
Okay, that's another good answer.
Dennis says The Apprentice.
Yeah, okay.
Also fair.
Also,
Zach, a TV channel that plays nothing but Napoleon Dynamite 24/7.
Big fan of Napoleon
Apparently.
Dynamite, apparently. I'm going to guess he did not vote for Pedro.
Let's see here.
I need to know his stance on tots.
Heno says Ozempic commercials on loop.
That's a great answer too. Those, dude, the drug ads now with where they have to have the catchy song in it are just insufferable.
Yes. Oh.
God, that and the Jardiance one, man.
Lady Cheeto says Love Island. I don't even know what that is, I'll be honest.
I could make a guess, but I've heard of it, but I couldn't tell you what it is.
Jeff from Hobie, Real Housewives. That's an excellent one.
Yeah, that's a good answer too. I know there's a lot of reality TV on here, or air quote reality TV.
Last one from Face Page, Ryan says Reba.
Oh man, that's a great answer. God, I hate that show.
That's what I got on my end though.
Damn, dude,
I'm telling you, Facebook was they were all over it on Face Page. Yeah.
We got nice. Robin just posted on our Twitter that she just checked out Fantastic Negrito, and she's like, his music is fantastic or incredible. He is. Everybody should go check him out. He's good. Nice guy too. Like I said, he, when I was like, hey, I really dug blah blah blah, he was, kind of
future enthusiast.
So, that would be awesome actually, because off his that album, he made like a movie to go with it to tell stories from behind it. It's a really interesting watch. All right, so Mr. Mrs. Cheeto says his answer is Stairway to Heaven. You know, if you remember that show. Oh wait, was it it was Highway to Heaven, wasn't it? With Michael Landis and where the angel. Unless he's talking about a different show. I think you might be confusing the Led Zeppelin song and
Highway to Heaven is definitely Oh
God, my mom used to love watching that.
Dude's got a weird fucking head.
Yeah.
Is that a real face?
I don't know. What are you talking about?
Head.
Oh, okay. Are you talking about Luther?
No, just Michael Landon's body in this one picture is fucking weird looking.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it was his hair.
The whole situation.
Yeah. He says his salty selections are The Nanny.
Yeah, that's fair.
He says Dukes of Hazzard, the Coy and Vance season, which is toward the very end when they were.
Yeah, I forgot all about that.
Yeah, which that's
I blocked it out, man.
Yeah, I agree. And he said the Current Hits music channel. Way to sound like an old man there.
What are these kids playing these days?
He's a QVC or whatever home shopping channel. That's a great answer too, because most of the stuff on there, I can't even make fun of it because they're just so insufferable. I just get mad at the people.
But what's better than a QVC gag reel? Like the dude on the ladder. Oh, yeah. It's locked in now. And they just eat shit.
Yeah. Those I could watch all night.
Cuts himself with a katana. Oh, I'm bleeding.
Yeah. Oh man, you know what's really funny? Luther also added his answer for the previous week. Oh, the movie title. That's what it was. And I was like, I don't even remember what the question was.
It's very salty language of you.
It is. Okay, so for the one where we were given a title and then we had to come up with a premise, his was The Camper.
Oh, okay. The Camper is a show about a guy who goes town to town solving crimes and weird mysteries, but he lives in a camper.
You know, there actually is kind of a show like that now called
really?
Tracker.
Okay.
Where a guy goes from town to town basically just collecting bounties. And by bounties, I mean there's missing people. He collects the rewards by finding the people. And he lives in a trailer, basically.
Or it's about a dude who plays Call of Duty and all he does is sit in a corner.
Tearing up his paper rings.
Yes.
I see. My brain went to basically something like Christine, but it's a camper.
Oh, I like this.
It's a haunted camper going and killing people.
Now, is it like an RV or is it a camper that gets towed?
I guess it kind of needs to be an RV because it'd be kind of weird if it had to get towed everywhere, unless Christine towed it.
Oh,
Whoa.
shit. It's the sequel.
Yeah, I think that was how my brain went, was because I'm just picturing like, some little RV just going around just murdering people left and right, which would
also be a guy who murders people and lives in an RV too, and goes campground to campground. Yeah,
true,
like horror movie type style.
I agree. Like he's the camper.
Yeah.
Gather around, children, and I'll tell you the story of the camper.
There has to be a scene where he murders somebody with a tent stake.
Well,
as is tradition.
Yeah. Right. Well, every time he kills somebody, it's with whatever is laying around.
Fair enough. Yeah. Fair enough.
Like a sat phone.
Yep.
Yep. Or he's got his like
a s'more stick.
A s'more stick. Yeah,
little
exactly.
Butane stove.
Yep.
Lots of meth.
All right. Lots.
So much meth.
Yeah. Oddly enough, moonshine.
That's not out at all, Brian.
All right. So, all right. Well, there you go. That's what I've got. All right. So 1 through 7.
6. 6.
Oh man, this is gonna take me forever to read.
Number of the beast.
6. Yeah, I was just gonna say it. Yep. You can easily ruin your life in less than 24 hours. But what is something you can do to permanently change your life for the better in the same time frame?
Oh, that's interesting. Huh. Fuck. If you're a working person, start a 401k.
I was gonna say quit.
Well, yeah, I mean, I would love that, honestly, but if you only got 24 hours to make your life better.
Oh, yeah, you're right. All right, fine. Yeah, and meth takes longer than that, I think, to cook.
Murder your enemies?
Yeah, that's pretty strong. File for divorce. I mean, I know there's a lot of people out there that are like,
woo! That's a hard question, honestly.
High fiving everybody,
I mean, yeah, that's honestly a hard question.
Well, that's what I was trying to think. Like, right, like if I looked at you right now and was like, what is something you could do in your life right now in 24 hours that you think would change your life for the better in like a big way? What would it be? And that's a really hard one to answer. I had forgotten. I mean,
honestly, like in 24 hours, it would be either start working out regularly again, or like stop drinking alcohol because it's terrible for you.
That's also a good answer.
But I mean, right? that's a hard question. I'll be really interested to see what people say.
Working out's a really good answer because that really is something that in 24 hours you can basically start your ritual of. Yeah. Because I was thinking like where I'm at right now, and it's like I think signing up for school would be something you could do, because that could change your life down the road. But again, it's like you're not going to be complete in 24 hours,
but it's a start.
You just be signing up. Yeah, right. Same with working out. You're not going to
it's like I'm not going to drop down, do 5 push-ups, and wake up tomorrow with a goddamn like shredded. Oh,
what if you did though?
I'd be like, why did you do those 5 push-ups sooner?
Yeah, right. Yeah.
What the fuck?
Can you imagine that? Like your whole life you don't bother to do 5 push-ups, and people are like, all you got to do is 5.
Yeah, like, whatever, dude.
Oh, sure, and then you finally, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and do them, and then the next day you wake up and you're just
fucking jacked, looking like that dude who plays Jack Reacher.
Yeah. Well, that'd be something. I'd be growing like 7 inches.
Push-ups are amazing, guys.
I get why I'm ripped, but how did I
don't
grow
even
7 inches? My muscles are so big they made me
stretched
taller.
out my bones.
Yeah. You go to walk, your first step, you just break your leg.
Yeah, it's so brittle.
Oh no! What have I done?
God, it's our push-up fracture.
Yeah, you go to roll over, break your shoulder. You're like, oh no! My bones are
It
jelly.
sounds like someone's kicking a bag of rolled golds. Oh no.
Oh, what a terrible. Who knew 5 push-ups would destroy
Well,
my
it's the classic.
bones?
There's no biological free rides.
That's right. That's right. Yep. It's the curse toppings on the free frogurt. Oh man. All right, so there you go. Yeah. So yeah, I'm curious to hear what people say is their response to that one too.
Absolutely.
All right, well, head on over to saltylanguage.com, click all the links, check out tangentboundnetwork.com. If you're looking for a home for your podcast, or if you're just looking for some new shows to listen to, please go give the people over there a listen. And if you happen to talk to Mark, what do you got for Mark this week?
Tell him to send beef sheets our way. We're looking for that beef sheets hookup.
Yeah, I like it.
Legitimately,
I like it.
if Steakums came out with a bed set and it was just called beef sheets, would you?
Dude, they should. I mean, it would be really funny. I mean, if I had disposable income,
right?
yeah, that would be hilarious.
How great would that be?
To where like the pillowcases just look like the package for Steakums.
The sheets just look like meat, just meat.
Beef sheets. Yeah.
I love this idea.
Me too. They should make those. Yep. If you want to reach out to us on social media, you can find us on Twitter at salty_language. You can find me at Stunami on various social medias.
You can find me on the Instagrams at Demonotony. At Salty Language on TikTok. It's still a thing. I like to repost stuff. I haven't posted anything new in a while. And patreon.com/saltylanguage. That's the important one, guys. That's where all your bonus content is. There's free stuff there. And for the low cost of $3 a month, there's plenty of content that you're not going to see anywhere else unless we skip a week and then we post something from it, which has been known to happen. But it doesn't happen that often, so you're better off just, tilling up.
Yeah.
And Brian, you also have a thing.
Oh, yeah, you're right. I do. It's called The Crazy Life. It's me and our pal Heno just talking about things going on in our life and, talking about mental health, mental illness, or various conditions or kind of things we've learned about. This past episode we talked about, loss. As I mentioned, I talked about, the grief from my dad being heavier this year. Financial worrying, getting up and getting moving. Heno talks about playing music and AA. And then we also talk about, I forgot what it's called now. A condition that basically now is within the autistic spectrum, but it used to be a different condition, that would leave you, that a lot of times meant that you were tired all the time and all this kind of stuff, to where basically you could still function with it. So it was like how hard it would be for people to believe you that you actually had a condition, type of thing, because they're like, well, you're here.
Man, I'm tired all the time. Wait a minute.
That's just because you're a dork.
Hold on a second. I'm on the spectrum.
Wait, Tony, I can solve this for you. Just don't be tired anymore.
Holy shit, I'm wide awake. Amazing.
Yep. Sorry I had to do this late at night. Now you're not going to sleep.
I'm surprised you didn't tell me to smile more.
Actually, you know what? Yeah. You're so much prettier when you smile.
Fucking people.
Don't tell people to smile more. Whether it's a woman or a man, either way, don't tell them to smile more.
What a bunch of bastards.
Let people smile when they want to. Anyway, if you're into that kind of stuff, please give us a listen. Yeah.
Beautiful thing.
Yeah. So I guess with that, have a, I don't remember what you called it before, a lemonade, pineapple juice, PBR.
If you could just say white trash shandy.
That's fair. I think I called it. What did I call it earlier? An LPBR.
LPBR. I like it.
Right. Lemonade, pineapple juice, and then you're kind of mushing PBR together. So
I think in the stupid video I put up, I did something like this: pineapple puts the P in PBR or something like that. I don't know. I was cooking on the Blackstone. I was already ripped half of it down or something. Whatever.
Right.
Anywho, I hope you enjoy Aldi's references.
Nice.
Stay salty, of course. Aldi's sodiums. No.
No. Aldi's sodiums.
No, it's kind of like stay salty.
I cut you off. That didn't.
Oh, but it's still on the YouTube. You son of a bitch.
It's on the YouTube. YouTube
Not
exclusive.
Anymore. We've already stopped.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Well, thanks to anyone who checked